Hey guys, Mr. Tweet here. So let's talk about unemployment real quick. Unemployment falls into three categories. The first category is going to be like your temporary short-term unemployment, losing a job, probably getting another one pretty quickly. This is frictional unemployment. There's always frictional unemployment. It's unavoidable. Whenever there's people who are like graduating college or high school, they're frictionally unemployed. Whenever somebody quits their job or somebody's fired because they did something wrong, that would be frictional unemployment. Even if a business goes out of business, it could be frictional unemployment. So if there's nothing wrong with the industry and there's nothing wrong with the economy, and in a business just can't compete, that could be frictional unemployment as well. So like, back, when I was in college, one of my friends worked for a Mexican restaurant in San Diego, and they went out of business. He got screwed, lost his job, didn't get paid for his last 2 weeks of work. But it's not like there was a recession going on at the time. It's not like, that Mexican restaurants were being replaced and disappearing like dinosaurs. It's just that this one particular Mexican restaurant didn't do very well. So that was frictional unemployment. Structural unemployment is when you have an entire industry or a specific job within an industry is being replaced. So these are jobs that are disappearing and never coming back. In the 80s, this is what was happening to auto workers in the United States, that those jobs were leaving the United States, they're going to China or other places in the world, Mexico, never coming back. And so whenever you have like jobs that are disappearing from an economy not to come back, that's going to be your structural unemployment. At the same time, there should be new jobs that are being created in economies, so to hopefully replace some of those structural unemployment jobs. So, things like, computer programmers, coders, all kinds of jobs that have been created in the last 30 years that never existed before. So some jobs disappearing, new jobs coming along. Manufacturing jobs going the way of the dinosaur. But then you have things like social media influencer or people who are like content creators on YouTube or other platforms. Jobs that just didn't exist 30 years ago that exist today. So structural unemployment, jobs that are disappearing, never to come back because that type of job is going away. And then the last one is cyclical unemployment. Cyclical unemployment is tied to a downturn in the economy, so that when there's a recession and people aren't spending as much, an otherwise healthy business might have to lay off some workers. So they might have to cut back on the number of people that they have employed because they're not making as much money because of the state of the economy. So when a business goes out of business, it might be hard to tell which type of unemployment it is. The first thing that you want to figure out is like, is this an industry that's dying or not? If it's an industry that's dying, then it's structural unemployment. If it's a business that otherwise would probably be fine, but they're having to lay off workers because of the economy, then it's cyclical unemployment. If the economy's fine and if the industry is fine, then it's going to be frictional unemployment when we have people who are getting laid off. So if people are being fired, if people are quitting, that's always frictional. That's always going to be frictional unemployment. Laid off means that the business doesn't want to let you go, but they have to because they can't afford to pay you. So when someone's being laid off, it could be cyclical because the economy is not doing well. We have to let some workers go. It could be structural, like we don't want to let you go, but our industry is dying or our business is going out of business because it's all of this type of business are, all video rental stores are going out of business because we're being replaced by something else. That's structural. Or it could just be that this one specific business can't compete against the others. And so, Kmart is going out of business or Sears is going out of business, but that doesn't, it just is because Sears can't compete with, Walmart and Amazon and Target. So if somebody's being laid off, it could be any of the three, and you have to figure out, is it because of the economy? That would be cyclical. Is it because the industry is going away? That would be structural. Or is it just because this one specific business can't compete? That would be frictional, right? All right, see you in the next video.